Hey everyone, it's Zerard from Raptors Republic, and given that the playoffs are around the corner, I thought we'd try something new for content on the site. So you get to see my face talking into a video camera, which is basically my phone. And I thought I'd give my thoughts on Raptors v Pacers coming up. And I'm excited that the Raptors are second in the conference. Momentum's high, 56 wins, Norman Powell's happening. It's all good. Yet at the same time, everyone's picking the Raptors, like everybody. It's like Raptors in 5, Raptors sweep. Yesterday in Blake and Will's podcast, they were talking about whether it's going to be a sweep or whether the Pacers would be able to take a game off of us. And that's great. I mean, I want it to be a sweep. But I'm a little nervous at how confident Raptor Nation or Raptor Republic is in terms of how the Raptors will do. Because at the end of the day, we're pretty much an unproven team in the playoffs. And the Pacers have to look at that and smell some blood. Not that they've been playing great. They've been playing bad basketball, beating some bad teams, winning occasionally against the good ones, but generally losing to any decent opponent they've had. Yet at the same time, they've got some guys that kind of scare me. Monta Ellis is the one that's kind of sticking in my mind a lot right now because he has some pedigree in him. Like, he's been a top scorer in the league before, and although he's struggling of late, he has the potential to actually blow up. He's got that explosiveness in him, even though he hasn't shown it, all the time. It's there, and it worries me. And Paul George is Paul George, but I think we can handle Paul George for the most part because we have some decent defenders at the position. The other thing that I see as a risk for the Raptors is really is how DeRozan will react to being checked tightly. I think in the past when he's been like D'd up by athletic wings, and this time it'll probably be Paul George, I would imagine. It's going to be interesting to see how he reacts because in the past he's reacted very negatively, where he's tried to kind of take the game over and take it upon his shoulders to win the game. And that hasn't worked out. And in fact, that's when he kind of gets in trouble. So that's my main concern is that will DeMar DeRozan react to the focused defense that's going to be played on him throughout the 7-game series? If he's able to react well and pass the ball off, rely on his teammates, the Raptors get mid-20s assists, I think we're going to be fine. But if he reverts to this selfish kind of basketball where he's trying to win the game by himself, I can see the Raptors getting in a lot of trouble. I'm not worried about Kyle Lowry. I think he's ready for prime time. I think he's going to have a big series against George Hill. I think Lowry is one of those guys that I think is hurt the most from the last 2 playoff exits. Against Paul Pierce, he got a shot block, and then last year he got basically embarrassed by John Wall. So I think that kind of fueled his his weight change, his whole fitness routine, and I think he's ready. I think he's going to perform, and I think the Raptors did well in kind of managing his rest towards the end of the season. Even though overall his minutes played are quite high, I think towards the end of the season they did well in kind of bringing him along. So I'm not too worried about Kyle Lowry at all, actually. And then I do feel Norman Powell is going to be a factor in this playoffs because I just feel the guy is completely unfazed by the occasion. Like, it doesn't matter to him if it's preseason, if it's game 25, or it's game 7 of the NBA Finals. I think he could play the exact same way. And his energy, his defense at the position basically renders a guy like James Johnson meaningless. And I'd be very surprised if James Johnson gets even 15 minutes in this, in the first 4 games combined. And then I think Dwayne Casey will change some things here and there. I think Luis Scola may start, but I don't think he's going to play a lot. I just don't think he matches up well with Mahinmi and Jordan Hill. He might do okay offensively, but defensively he's just going to be a disaster. And the Pacers have enough, athletic 3-4s that can cause him trouble. And Dwayne Casey, if he's done one thing differently this year, is that he tends to adapt better to in-game changes made by the other team, more so than last year. So not too worried about Luis Scola. I know some guys were like, "Well, Luis Scola, he's starting, he's going to get burned." Yeah, but it doesn't really matter. I think we'll be okay there. So biggest threats for me are really Monty Ellis. I don't know why he's bugging me. I was thinking about Monty Ellis late last night. Like I was in bed like 11:30. And I was like, Monty Ellis might kill us. It's a bit weird, man. So my prediction for the series is Raptors in 7. Yeah, Raptors in 7. I think the Pacers will take some games off of us. And after this, I don't know. That's my prediction. Raptors in 7. I think the Pacers are a struggling team, but it's the first time the Raptors are. They haven't won a 7-game series yet, so I don't know how you can pick a team that has never won a 7-game series in like 5 games. I don't get it. I think it's going to be 6 or 7 at least. And I think home court will come into play, and the Raptors will pull that off. I think we're going to drop some games in Indiana for sure. That's guaranteed. So I think the home court will work for us. And I think Kyle Lowry will have a big series. I think Patrick Patterson and Terrence Ross are big X factors for the Raptors, as they have been all season long. Nothing new there really. I think as they go, the bench goes. But if you had to divide the Raptors performers into like consistent guys and not consistent guys, I'd say Patrick Patterson and Corey Joseph are 2 you would classify pretty much in the consistent section, because other than Patrick Patterson's slow start to the season, he has been like one of our better 3-point shooters, one of our better defenders, one of our more active defenders, and overall he's had a good season. On the inconsistent pile, I would still put Terrence Ross in there because he hasn't really shown that. Like he has shown in the new year that he's capable of more, but I would still like I'm still a little concerned about what he might give us in the postseason, where I kind of know that Patrick Patterson, or I have a better feeling that Patrick Patterson will give us more, and Terrence Ross is still on the little iffy pile. I don't know. It's exciting times in Raptorland, and let's hope for a sweep. But my call is Raptors in 7. Let's go Raptors.